Hi, I just popped on quick again because I just spotted Heather Carter has done a tag, and I watched it, and it's only going to be a quick tag. So I thought, well, while I'm waiting for the children to come out of school and I have to go out, I would jump on and do this tag. There's 10 questions every tarot reader should answer. Apparently, it's an old tag from what she was saying, from 2016, I believe. But she's started it up again because she liked the thought of doing this one, so I thought I'd do this one along with her. I won't be able to put all the questions underneath because my eyes are being a bit sensitive today, but what I will do, I will tag Heather's original video below, and you can pop over to her channel and watch hers, and then underneath she's got all the questions and other people who have done this tag, people like Katie Flowers, Ethel, etc. They've all done this tag, and she has linked them as well. So I've got them up on my phone so I can have a look. The first one is, were you mentored or were you self-taught? I was self-taught. 25 years ago, something like that, I started to teach myself how to read the tarot. I got books at the time out through the library. In them days there wasn't much internet or anything, so it was books from the library, and I sat and studied the books and had a packet of cards, and I just went through them like that. So I'm self-taught. I've never been mentored or had teachings of any kind from anyone. It's always just been self-taught. Question 2. Are you psychic or a tarot reader? I'm psychic. I can read without cards. I've taught quite a few courses, weekend courses and daily workshops, mediumship, psychic work, that kind of thing. And I have been told many times that I use the cards as a crutch, something to hold on to, something to look at. But I feel comfortable using the cards, doing the cards, rather than just face to face with somebody. So I am psychic, but I couldn't do it without the cards. I'm not confident enough just to sit in front of somebody and give them a message. Are your predictions accurate, and is accuracy important to you? Yes. Most people who have a reading from me will come back and say, oh, you know, you said such and such, that was dead on, spot on, it's come from, and it is important that I'm accurate, because if I'm reading for people and giving them information that they're wanting, then I want it to be accurate. I don't want them to have to come back to me and say, you told me it's a load of rubbish. I want them to come back and say, actually, what you told me was right. A couple of instances happened last week where a couple of people had done a 12-month ahead spread for what I actually was in them readings, actually started to come up, started to come through in accuracy. So it's always good to know that what you predict through the readings does come about one way or another. I always say when I do a reading, you know, that nothing's written in stone, that, you know, there's free will and everything to be, you know, to be expected, because, you know, if something changes then it could actually alter the thing. But as a rule, I do tend to find that doesn't happen very often. But then I don't read that far ahead anyway. 12 months I'll do as a touch, but I prefer to stick to the 3 months. Is there anything that you can't predict in a reading? I sometimes have trouble predicting things for myself, so I don't very often read for myself in terms of predicting what's going to come up for me. I would, like I said, I do for other people if they ask, and most people who come to me do want prediction readings, but I don't tend to for myself. I use the tarot completely different for myself, and I do find if I try to predict things for myself in the future, I just kind of choose the easy option, and even though I know deep down it's not really what it's telling me, and that stays with me, and when it does happen, oh yeah, I knew that anyway. But I don't even attempt to do that now. So I can't really predict in a reading something for myself. Number 5, do you use only tarot, or are you multidisciplinary? Multidisciplinary, I use not only the tarot, I use the Lenormand, I use Kipper cards, Gypsy cards. I've just started working with those. I use pendulums. I started using the runes, or started learning the runes charms. I use charms and other forms of divinatory, stuff like that. So I don't just stick to the tarot, but that is the main one that I do use. Tarot is my go-to, and everything else sort of comes on second. Do you, oh no, sorry, I've read that one. Number 6, is the message in the cards or in your head? And I believe they're in both. You can get messages from the cards, through the imagery, from the meanings, I should say, but also you get the messages from the imagery and what comes into your head through your intuition or your knowledge or whatever it is, what pops in there. So it's a bit of both. I read a bit of both. I'll read for the card meanings as well as what I'm getting intuitively or what in my head. So I do believe that it's both, and I think to be one or the other, I think being just like reading the cards and not allowing what's in your head to come through, you don't get the full message that you can get from if you use both, and it's the other way around too. If you don't actually use the meanings as well as what you get in your head, again it kind of, you're not got the full message. So I do believe you need both to get the full message, but that's just my opinion. Number 7, are you a priest or a fortune teller? Well, I'm certainly not a priest, I'm not religious. A fortune teller maybe, because people do come from me to me and ask me more often than not what the future is going to be for them. So partly is, yes, fortune telling I guess is partly what I do, but not the whole. I do a lot of readings what are not fortune telling and not predictive. A lot of it can be self-work, and different kinds of spreads for different areas of your life rather than predicting what's going to come. So even though out of the two I would say I'm probably more of a fortune teller, I wouldn't say that I'm 100% a fortune teller. I do read the tarot and other cards in completely different ways than fortune telling as well. Number 8, are you a fixer or a looker? Both. I like to use the cards to find answers for things that aren't going quite right and need answers for, what might show me a way forward that I've not actually thought about myself, or different ways. If I think, if I do this, how will this turn out? If I do this, how will this turn out? So that's kind of like a fixing. But I'm also I also use the cards to look at things closer and to get a better picture of what's going on around. So I'm both a fixer and a looker. Number 9, do you read for free or for a fee? Both again. I do free readings and offer free readings quite often, and I also have clients who have come to me for the last 3-4 years since I started charging, that I do charge. I don't particularly charge a lot of money because I like to make sure that it's affordable for people if they want to have a reading. So I never charge an awful lot, and more often than not I will give people free readings, and even if I do charge them, they get not just one reading for their money and half an hour or whatever. I will just read constantly until they get everything they want out of the way answered, and even if it means I sat there for 2 hours, I'd sit there 2 hours and answer it for them. So I do both. I do a lot of free readings, and I also charge. That again, that's the husband ringing just when it's the most inconvenient time to ring me. So yeah, so that was my answer for question 9. Do I read for free or for a fee? It's both. And I also, if I am using a new spread or a new deck, or I want to try something different, then I'll put on my Facebook, anybody fancy a free reading, and I'll get inundated. So there's always plenty of people out there who are quite happy to come for a free reading, as well as the normal people who like to come even when paying for it. So it's both. Number 10, is there anything you won't predict in a reading? I don't like to predict for health reasons. I don't like to predict if people are, if somebody's ill and they want to know what's going to be the outcome of this illness or whatever. I wouldn't do those. I won't predict health in that aspect. And I wouldn't predict anything for a third party. So I will only read for the person who is there wanting a reading. I wouldn't, if they come in and say, what does my boyfriend or what does my husband do? I wouldn't do that, because that is unethical. I would not read for a third party. I would only read for the person who is actually sitting with me and asking for the reading, in that respect. So those are my two no-nos. I won't predict the outcome of any health issues, and I won't predict for third parties either. So that is my my answers to these 10 questions. So it was quite a quick one. Like I said, I knew it would be quick. That's why I knew I'd have time to answer it. I thought I'd get through it without the husband ringing me, but no, that's, you know, that's never a good idea. Never happens, because he always manages to interrupt me one way or another. But that was an interesting tag, and it'd be interesting to see who answers these. But it's a quick one. Do you know what I mean? It didn't take too long to answer those. Like I said, sorry I can't put everything underneath, but it'd take me too long with my eyes today. But I will tag headers, so you can get all the questions if you want to do this tag off headers, and also watch hers and all the others who've done it. And I also thought this would be such a good idea to come on and do this, because there's to put another video up for whoever it is who's going through all my videos disliking them at the minute. You know, this is just another one for you to dislike. And you know, while you're here, I'll say thank you, because you know, YouTube doesn't make a difference between likes or dislikes. It's just all good. So thank you very much. You know, so here's another one you can dislike. But yeah, just wanted to get that out in their way, because it did make me giggle every time I see this dislike keep coming up every day. Every time I'm putting something new up, disliked. So they're not even watched it, disliked. Do you know what I mean? But that's fine. Like I said, it's good, all good, because YouTube doesn't see it like that anyway. But yeah, so I should keep an eye out for these tags, because I love to do these tags. They're so interesting and so easy to do, aren't they? Especially the quick ones like that. But I shall be interested to see who else does this, and be watching them. And I'm going to go and watch the other ones now that Ethne and Katie Flowers and that have done, because I love to watch them. So I shall go and watch those as well, and keep an eye out for all the other ones. But I just wanted to do it now while I had a few minutes, because things are going to start getting hectic from tomorrow onwards, because I'm going to go away for a few, well, about 10 days I'm going away, so things are going to start getting a bit hectic tomorrow. So I just wanted to do it, so I did it, because I still haven't done the what court card are you yet. I must try and get that done as well. But at the minute it's just finding the time and being able to. But thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing your answers. Bye.